Hello and welcome. It's 10th episode. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and today we will have a team that, when you look at my needs, just a quick draft preview before we dig deeper, you would feel like you are looking at a Super Bowl level caliber team because it seems like there's no need. So, what the hell? Well, for that to address, you need to stay with me. You need to dig deeper. I would very much appreciate that. Let me know on the format and let me know how you like it. And don't forget to subscribe and be there for my draft. We will spend several hours together on day 1, day 2, and day 3 talking about how every single addition changes or doesn't change the landscape of the team. So let's go and dig deeper into Steelers. And the first thing that is going to be here, and I will be hearing a lot, is how the hell do I have quarterback as a tier 3 need, right? And to me, there's rationale behind it. And the rationale is, the room looks ugly on paper, like Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. But who would I force in this draft to be QB answer of the future that the Steelers are desperately looking for, 10 years right now? And the only name is Ty Simpson. And I think Ty Simpson does make sense if you draft him and bring Aaron Rodgers back. So Aaron plays this year and Ty Simpson kind of redshirts this year and is going to be your answer for 27. At the same time, without him pretty much playing, can you say, let's say it's Steelers do Steelers thing, they are 9-8 and let's say they don't make playoffs, so they have a 15 pick overall next year. Does Ty Simpson investment, which would have to be in the first round this year, make you stop drafting a QB in a much better draft class next season? Hell no. So, in my opinion, it's a kind of a waste. I do understand why Ty Simpson is a potential landing spot here, and I will not say, just like with the Browns, that the room is fixed or nowhere near close to that, but I don't think from a rational strategist standpoint of view for next couple of seasons, it just doesn't make sense to me. To spend the first round pick on Ty Simpson that, I'm most likely looking at having played close to 0 snaps this year. I don't think he's actually ready at the same time to play right now. And then be next year where there's 5 to 6 QB prospects that are better than Ty Simpson, I would say. Yes, they are probably going to go higher, but you absolutely should take a swing, trade up, and get one of those guys. So, to me, tier 3 need, I'm sorry. And I think Ty Simpson is undervalued. At the same time, for the Steelers, and for those reasons, he is not making a lot of sense for a lot of teams. I think he can have a big fall off in this draft. I would not be shocked if he goes in the third round, which would be kind of unjustified, because I think he's a similar prospect to, in terms of quality and potential, in terms of Jackson Dart, perhaps Tyler Shuck, and these guys. I don't think it would be fair to him, but at the same time, for a lot of teams that are eager to get a quarterback, they are looking at 27, and they don't want to invest premium for a guy that they are kind of saying, okay, but we are looking to upgrade upon you within a year. Good effing luck. So very interesting how Ty Simpson is going to end up, whether he's going to be a Steeler or not. To me, tier 3 need, I do expect them to probably resign Aaron Rodgers, have Mason Rudolph and Will Howard there, and that's going to be their QB room for 26. Now, running back, another tier 3 need. And here it's much simpler. I should have Jalen Warren here. I'm sorry, I don't have his picture here. He is RB1. Is he greatest now RB1 in the league? Hell no. I would say he's kind of your, I don't want to be rude, Kate Otton of tight ends. He's better as a running back. He's better than Kate Otton is as a tight end, but there is also much less quality tight end. So I would say he's 20th, 18th best running back one. So absolutely fine. Not a guy that gets me super excited, but a guy that you absolutely trust. With Rico Dowdle, there is intrigue for what he did the first part of last year. So if they can replicate it here, really, really nice. And Caleb Johnson, like they have invested in him a lot, and then he botched, I think it was kickoff return, punt return versus Seahawks, and we pretty much have never seen him since. So I hope he's alive, and yeah, this is room that they have invested, and they will not give a gap in this draft. In terms of wide receivers, it's kind of the same, and it's going to be a story for the Steelers across this episode, because the frustrating thing with the Steelers is they are kind of fine everywhere, but they are like there is excellence on this roster, but it's actually far less than I would say Pittsburgh fans feel like, and they're kind of like, yeah, this works, this is fine, but then you combine it, it's just fine product with not that great of an upside. It's like high floor, low ceiling type of product, as we know for the Steelers. And it's all like this is, the same with wide receiver room. DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, they have committed to 2 older paid wide receivers. Is it a smart strategy to pay 2 guys that are like, I don't know, DK is like 25th best wide receiver in the game, Michael Pittman perhaps 40. Is it smart to commit $50 million a year to these 2 guys? I don't think it's a smart roster building, but they have made these moves. So like they are not going to back. And they clearly were happy with bringing Michael Pittman towards. So what is there to say? There is kind of a lack of depth. So that's why this ends up as a high tier 3, where I think they should address this room. But it's they tried to bring Roman Wilson. They did not give him any opportunities almost, but they have tried in the past to go with Young. And it's been a while since we actually seen Pittsburgh wide receiver factory in action, and even kind of the best product of that factory was much, much better somewhere else, George Pickens. So yeah, high tier 3. In terms of tight ends, this is one of the most equipped room in the league in terms of I am low-key excited, though I don't think neither of these guys a top end starter, but Darnell Washington and Pat Fairmouth, it's a very, very good duo. Darnell is just a fun player to watch, and they clearly are happy with this. I would be too. I really wonder what he's going to get paid next year, because there is even some talk that he should just book up slightly more and play a tackle, which maybe he could do that. Tight end 3 could be something on the menu, but another situation where I don't think they actually need to necessarily use high resources. Now with tackles and overall offensive line, there might be one position where I only see this as high tier 3, and it's because not that I would like Broderick Jones, but they kind of found something in Dylan Cook last year, and with that being, Broderick, former first round investment, and Dylan Cook actually playing very fine, and on the other side you have Troy Fatano, who is really good. I'm willing to look at this as really not a need right now, and if Dylan Cook does not is what he was actually last year, he was playing as a potential franchise left tackle, or if Broderick Jones does not break out somehow, some way, then I will look at it next off season. But right now, it would make close to no sense to go into the room where I have a lot of unknowns, but potential, and still some quite recent investments in Troy Fatano. So I would not actually touch offensive tackle, even though it's another thing that people commonly mock towards the Steelers. Center, this one is clear. It's Zach Frazier all the way. He's freaking great. I think he's going to end up as a top 5 center at the end of 26 season. I think he's really, really that freaking good. Now, I think the biggest need that I actually put on my original short summary is a guard. Because you have one starter that you are very comfortable, which is Mason McCormick, but on the other side, Spencer Anderson and backups after that, I don't think you actually are super happy. The one thing is they also have Brock Hoffman, who is here to back up Zach Frazier, but I think he probably is going to enter off-season camp. It's maybe I can take a look at that guard 2 spot opposite to Mason McCormick. But clearly this is the room that they have tried to spend some low level resources. If I'm looking at one clear need that this team should look to upgrade, it's that second guard position. So low tier 2 just says I would not use a premium resource unless I have it available and I kind of don't have another room to use it for, which is kind of a situation where Pittsburgh are, in my opinion. So to me, I would probably look at them end of first round. Some guards could fall towards there, and I would absolutely try to snatch one of the top 3 guards if they are still on the board for them. Now, going towards the defense, it starts with TJ Watt, and probably a lot of Steelers fans are going to be pissed at me because I don't have him as an elite anymore. And I just don't. I'm sorry for that. I think TJ is still excellent player. I don't have him as my top 5 edge player. I think he's in the top 10, but on the very, very brink of that. He's still special run defender, but in terms of his pass metrics and even what I see, I understand he gets double teamed a lot, but at the same time, just do something with that, Pittsburgh. You are always lining up him the same, just give him something. So I'm not falling this ultimately all on TJ, but his production just does not match an elite status, in my opinion. At the same time, their edge is freaking awesome. Alex Highsmith is exceptional player, and Nick Herbig is the best 3 in the league, probably. Unfortunately, they will probably let him go because they have committed to TJ Watt for $30 million a year, even though his age and slowing production. Interesting decision. At the same time, it makes this room very, very crowded and very, very freaking good. And you can say the same about the interior of the defensive line. And you could be okay, but Cam Hayward is 37 or something like that. He's probably not going to be for super long time here. Probably not. But you have invested first round in Derek Harmon and Keanu Benton. So the investments are there, right? You have some backup pieces that are going to help you, some veteran presence, like Sebastian Joseph Day is very, very good. I think he's better than Keanu Benton right now. You have 4 guys with really top end high end talent in Cam Hayward, and 3 guys that I do really like Sebastian Joseph Day. I really do. I don't understand why Titans did not resign him. Derek Harmon, very promising still, first rounder. The first year was hampered with injuries, but he was good in my opinion. And then you have kind of Yahya Blacks, Logan Lees of the world, where as your DT6, sign me up for that. So another room that I'm just not touching, and I don't think they are either. Now, in terms of linebackers, this is where if I'm Steelers, I would have not made the decision to keep Patrick Queen. I would have cut him. I don't know. I'm just not the big Patrick Queen guy. I don't think he is nowhere near in terms of how much they are paying him. I don't think he's an LB1. I think he's a good player. I think he was really brought up with Roquan Smith, who was the brains of the operation, and Patrick could use his exceptional athleticism to go after guys. But you need more in terms of this position, in my opinion, if you are an LB1. If he's LB2, he's absolutely fine. They have Peyton Wilson and they have Malik Harrison that are kind of making this room functional next to Patrick Queen. And Peyton Wilson is later, slightly higher round investment. So do they actually see this as something they need to address? Or they're okay, we have veteran Harrison, we have our LB1, we believe Patrick Queen is that guy, and Peyton Wilson to fight with Mike Harrison, so we don't need to touch this. I wouldn't. They probably do. So I would try to sneak a high tier 3, low tier 2, because Peyton Wilson, it has not necessarily panned out super well, but I expect that he might have a real nice year 3. I think it's going to be. I think Mike Harrison is a fine LB2. And you have Cole Holcomb. You do understand why Steelers are very frustrating, because for example, I really like where the team approaches the draft with we don't necessarily have clear team needs. But it seems like Pittsburgh are doing this with every freaking position, every freaking time. We have just enough. We are just fine. And I'm nah, I don't want them to be 9-8. I really don't. So, but they seem to recommit themselves to that. And yeah, well, those are the Steelers. I'm sorry. Now, corner. Another room where I'm they are absolutely freaking fine. they have brought Jamaldine, who I think was one of the absolute steals of this offseason. Like, for all the crap that I give to the Steelers, this was one hell of a signing. And I don't, like, again, if you have not seen me ranted about Jamaldine, I will give you one, because how the hell does this guy, after a year when he was playing as a top 10 corner in the league, I think undoubtedly, he gets, 3 years, 36 millions, and then guys like Alonta Taylor, Cordell Flott goes for much more than that. How? Explain that to me. He is a CB1. These guys, like, I can stomach them as CB2 and Alonta as a slot. Make it make sense. Like, I understand the age, and there is like some injury history, but like, come on. Joey Porter opposite to him, very, very nice. Asante Samuel, another kind of a forgotten guy by the league, where like he was very good like 2 years ago with the Chargers. I still think there is like enough in him, and he's like 26 or something. So this is one of the guys that like kind of fall out of sight, fall out of mind, but I think here he could absolutely work. He's 27, you know. Then you have Brandon Eccles to play your nickel next to Jalen Ramsey, who can be your nickel, he can be your safety. So like for all the crap, I actually think this is this is room that has been approached like better, slightly better than I say, because like it's just value for money. Now, in terms of the safeties, they have brought Jaquan Brisker. You know, like you've heard it 20 times, and I will give it to for 21. Like Jaquan Brisker is an absolutely fine safety. Kate Otton of tight ends, Jalen Warren of running backs. He's good. You know, that's what he is. They also have Deshaun Elliott and Jalen Ramsey. He's probably going to be altering as a safety quite often. So they have a lot of depth. Darnell Savage, I am actually interested in Sebastian Castro, where he is going to like sneakily look for like a safety 2 spot, because I think he doesn't have a trades, but he has this. And I think that's very, very interesting if he can make it play out in the NFL. Like, again, when you look at this, okay, like quarterback, we might differ with the opinion, and you could absolutely say it's a high tier 1 need, like they absolutely should address this. I'm okay with that. But then, like, wide receiver 3, left tackle, okay, we probably could differ on some of the situations, but like this team just feels fine. And like they are recommitting themselves to be fine. It pisses me off, man. It really does. Well, sorry if I was too terrible on the Steelers. I think it's deserved, but I don't know. Maybe they will surprise me. Maybe they will. Maybe they will just take this year and they will not resign Aaron Rodgers. They will bring out Will Howard, give him a chance, and if it fails, they are okay with it to fail, because then they will address finally the quarterback position in the draft next year. See you with the next one. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye bye till next time.